Our home park for close to 5 years, and one of our favorite parks in the entire country, is Busch Gardens Williamsburg. But our most recent visit was shocking, to say the least. So it's important that we pass on what we learned so your visit doesn't have that same feel as ours did. Well, hey everybody, this is Greenbean with Full-Time Coaster Tour, and what you're seeing right now is one of my favorite things to do is walk through Scotland in Busch Gardens Williamsburg and past the Clydesdales till you come to the clearing where you see this. Look at those three beautiful coasters. We have Loch Ness Monster, Alpengeist, and the Griffin. I just love any park that has that opening to when you realize what it is you're about to experience. But our most recent visit was a little different. You see, we didn't know before we went that we were going to run into this. First thing we saw, and a big bummer, was this attraction is closed by the Loch Ness Monster. That's okay, let's go to Alpengeist. But wait a second, this one's closed as well. So this is when we start to realize something was a little bit different for our favorite park in the world. Even the clock tower wasn't doing its little clock tower show.
Do your show. I just told people about it.
Is that it? The show's not even
The show's not
happening.
working either. Oh my gosh.
So the guy
This is
said
terrible.
that
Terrible indeed. And as we crossed the bridge over to Invader and Lescout, we had hopes, but right upon this view, we realized that only one of the two rides in this section was going to be open. As you can see here, Lescout is also closed. So what was happening was, because all these attractions and restaurants were closed, you'll see the line here. The attractions that were open had super long lines, much longer than is standard. But the bad news is even the quick queue kiosks were out of service, so we couldn't jump the lines. There's the Mock Tower, that was closed as well. The good news is, as we made it over to Sesame Street Land, the Elmo show was going on, and a little bonus, the Grover coaster was also working for us, so my kids got to get on that, and it is a coaster credit if that's important to you, and it's, as far as a kiddie ride goes, not too shabby. There it is, the Grover coaster. So we were about as disappointed as ever. Like I said, there were a few rides open, and they were good ones. Apollo's Chariot was open. Obviously, right here you're seeing the Griffin was also open. We had Verbolten and Invader. But so many of the major attractions at Busch Gardens Williamsburg were simply not available. And that includes beautiful sides of the park, such as the Sky Ride and attractions like that. There were so many things missing from this particular visit that we couldn't help but feel negative. And we brought somebody with us that was there for the first time, and I couldn't help but feel that he'd been taken advantage of, or at least got a bum deal, let's say it that way. But so this is what we learned when we were there. We actually stopped by the customer service window, and believe me when I tell you, they had been hearing it all day long from different customers for one reason or another. And as we take a look at a test run from the new coaster Pantheon, which was fun to watch, I'll tell you what we learned at the customer service desk. Number one, they were stressed out, and there were lines of people just giving them the business all day long. And when we were there, we tried to be a little bit nicer and asked if we could get a return ticket for the person who had come with us for that first visit. And he explained to us what was going on. Now, Busch Gardens Williamsburg was closed down for a long period of time last year due to the COVID epidemic, right? The pandemic. Virginia had them closed down for most of the year. So during that time, most of their regular employees that were furloughed had to find occupations and employment elsewhere. So when they reopened, they announced it to all their employees, but most of them didn't come back. So they were literally working with less than 50% of their usual employed staff. So they were trying really hard, And technically speaking, the website does have the information posted on there to what attractions are open, but it looks like it's just particularly applying to this food and wine festival. But take a look at this. I wanted to put this up here for you. This is from the website and explains very clearly which rides are going to be open and restaurants as well. Now, they did it in such a way where it seems like everything is open. If you just breeze over this, you can excitedly just go, oh, great, look, Finnegan's Flyer, Griffin, Invader, Revolt, and Apollo's Chariot, everything's open. But they don't post what isn't open. And I understand for marketing purposes, you don't necessarily want to do that. But I think that's where a lot of the confusion is coming in. So if you're planning to go to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, please take a look at the website. Please know what you're experiencing when you go in there, what to expect. We're going to even go back to try to help them stay open and be able to hire new staff. But this is an important one to know before you go. Thanks for watching, everybody.